What's going on, y'all? It's DNA. We back again. We was on a little hiatus. Came back. Work, other obligations. This ain't easy. We ain't famous and rich yet. Subscribe.
Yeah.
So, it takes a little time. We regular people just like y'all. So,
A month ago, I went to see my daughter, and since then, I have not had time to. I haven't even bought a scale yet, so I don't know how much I weigh. I don't know if I'm still 192, or I've lost, gained, or stayed the same. I have been walking. I have been eating right. I, have my moments of I have to have some chocolate or something, but other than that, I still been doing good. Don't be showing people stuff. Okay. This week we want to talk about children and punishments, and how children should be punished or shouldn't be punished, or what we think of how we were raised. I was raised where my father believed in punishments. As far as when you're disciplined, it's for something. It goes with what you did. And my brother stayed in trouble. Out of my life, my father believes in whoopings. But if he doesn't have to, he won't. And from him, out of my life living with him, I've had 2 whoopings. My brother, I don't even want to talk about it. But I figure that with my father being as heavy-handed as he was, and he was a bigger guy than he is today, why would you want to get hit by this man? And all the people in my generation, if you had a father like mine, or even a mother that wore a belt, you heard it come out of them pants, you didn't do things to get yourself in trouble. I used to hear the belt when my father was just unbuckling his pants, and I'd be like, oh Lord, what did he do? Not what I do, what did he do? Because my brother stayed in trouble. Now, I would like to say, oh well, that whooping made him a good man today. We don't go there.
he's not here to defend himself. So
I
we're
think
only getting half of the truth.
I think he's a good guy. I think that he didn't need the whoopings. I think that he needed more talking than discipline, than that kind of discipline. I'm a type of parent that talks. I don't believe in whoopings. I don't believe in spankings or whatever. I don't believe in that. As my kids grew, I got to know them as people, and I felt whatever they needed, it didn't have to come from being beat. Now, kids get popped all the time. You pop a kid, they know, oh, hey, they didn't like that. That's good enough for a little one because he doesn't understand. But as far as getting a belt out at 13, 14, getting a belt, I think, well, with my children, I didn't have to do that. There are other parents that feel, hey, I'm getting the belt because I done said this too many times and this is just going to happen. That was my generation. And none of those kids are dead because they got a whooping. They're not in jail because they got a whooping. Those kids are the way that they are because they chose to continue down that road or this road. And it has nothing to do with the love that the parent gave them. And in that love, one of them happened to be a whooping because they didn't want them to go down the wrong road. They wanted them to go down the right road. And if they still got in trouble and chose the wrong road, it was a choice. So I just don't believe in whoopings. That's just me and the way I raised mine. Now, if I had totally different kids and everything I tried didn't work and I had to end up getting a belt, that would have been the situation. But thank God I didn't have to go that route. I don't know how you feel as far as whippings are concerned, because I don't believe in whippings. But
Kids need discipline.
Yeah.
Period. I was raised by a single mother. I'm the youngest of 3 boys in New York City. Discipline was a necessity. When you got 3 boys in the city, single mother, a lot of different things going on, were we bad? No. No. I wasn't bad at all, really, because I'm the youngest. I was the baby. I was spoiled. I got everything I wanted.
Which makes it
And my mother was 6 feet tall, from Alabama, with an afro. So, you know, it was like she was 9.5 feet tall when I did something wrong. To have to look up, you know, and see who this person was that was about to inflict whatever was about to be inflicted. You know, I got quite a few, you know, whoopings, you know, coming up in my life. It was never to the point where I felt like it was abusive. And quite honestly, every time it was called for. You know, my mother was never the type to just beat us because she came home and got drunk. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. You know, my mother was, you know, was really the best person that I knew. You know, but I'm prejudiced.
Right.
You know, so, but I mean, you know, she worked hard. You know, she stressed education. And she raised 3 boys to be gentlemen in New York City by herself. And I say she raised it to be gentlemen because a woman can't raise a boy to be a man because she's not a man.
Right.
She can only raise a boy to be a gentleman. You know, by the same token, a man can't raise a girl to be a woman because he's not a woman. You know, I raise my daughters to be young ladies. Is it important? Yeah, I do feel it is. I don't feel that abuse is acceptable, but I do feel that my generation, in comparison to the generation that's around now, I do feel like because that disciplinary capability was taken away from parents, because now children have the right to go to school and say, well, you know, my mom hit me, my dad hit me, my grandma did this, you know, and if it's an abusive situation, by all means, it should be reported. But if it's just a matter of, you know, you constantly doing something wrong, so you constantly getting popped on your backside or, you know, smacked in the back of the head because you always got something smart to say, stuff like that, you know, that's not abuse.
Right.
You understand? And I don't feel like the system is doing it right, you know, because ever since the system gave these kids that ability, we've had Columbine, you know, massive school shootings, you know, we had a lot more crimes against kids, against adults, by children, by minors, you know, and I mean, you know, juvenile detention facilities have always been around. That's nothing new.
Right.
You know, but these heinous crimes that we've been experiencing, you know, in these last 20 years or so, that never happened when I was coming up.
Yeah.
It never happened. You know, for a kid to go to a school and shoot up a school,
It was unheard of.
you know, that's ridiculous. I mean, kids took weapons to school, you know, but no, you never had this.
I think them taking away that you being able to discipline your child the way you feel fit
Yeah.
is why this is happening. I think is one of the reasons why the jails are filling up so quickly.
Of course.
I think it's one of the reasons why children are being taken from their parents so often.
So easily.
It is, you took something away from the parents, you know.
It's like pulling teeth from a lion.
You don't take that. I don't think that they should be in your home unless it's absolutely necessary. I mean, you got a lot of people that's watching a lot of people. So if they see abuse, they're going to report it. They don't have to get a name or anything. They're going to report that abuse. I know that some things are not seen, but I think it's still okay for a child to go to school, and most teachers notice it if there's something going on with the child. So that's okay. But when you come into my home and tell me I can't whoop my child or I can't discipline them the way that I feel fit, as far as, you know, without abuse, without, you know, I have to leave whips on my kid because I thought that they should be beat this way. That's not necessary. But as far as me, if I felt that child needed a whooping and it straightened them out, who are you to come into my home and say I can't do that? I think that should never have started, and I think it should stop, because these kids nowadays are so out of hand. You know, I'm very lucky to have the ones that I have and the way that they have grown up. But not all parents can say that, and they are, frustrated, getting gray hair, don't know what to do. But if you stay out of it and let them handle their children, and you stop trying to handle their children, you're not there with them all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of
you don't need to police my house.
Right. A lot of parents say, well, you got my child for 8 hours a day. You take care of them.
Yeah.
As far as the school is concerned, those are the ones you have to watch, because those are the ones that ain't getting nothing at home. But as far as those kids that are trying and they doing what they need to do, and they got in trouble for whatever they got in trouble for with their parent, that parent cared enough to get them, to stop them so that they wouldn't come to school and get you.
Exactly.
So why not keep that in the house, and you keep what's at school, or in the what is it, social services, whatever it is. Those don't go together.
Yeah.
Only time it becomes social services problem is when somebody has reported something, whether it be the child, the teacher, or neighbor.
And when there is proof,
right,
to back up any allegations of abuse. Because again, it may take them people 5 minutes to come in your house and take your child out of your house, but it may take you upwards of 5 years to get that child back. And that's number one. Number two, once outside sources come into your home, whether the allegations are true or false, it's going to change the perception, and it's going to change the relationship between the child and the parents.
Right.
They may not say it, no, it won't mean nothing to me. That's not true. You understand? Because the people that hurt you most are the people that's closest to you. And I don't mean physically.
Right.
Because quite frankly, if my children was to do something like that, it would make me look at them different. It would make me feel differently about them.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't make me, I wouldn't love them any less.
Right.
You understand? But I would look at them differently as people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And it would alter our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm riding for you, but then you're going to try to get me caught up in some nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Now if I'm doing it, fine. But if I'm not, you're really trying to get me caught up in some nonsense. And that's going to make me look at you differently.
Right.
So, I mean, this is something that maybe we as a society overall need to really look at and, really try to reconstruct the way that we want to do this in terms of raising our kids and what disciplinary actions should, can, and need to be taken. In terms of, child rearing, disciplinary action, be it physical, mental, you may take their cell phone and take their car keys or whatever. I mean, it's something we're going to have to work out, and I don't think we need the government to step in to our homes and do something like that. That's something I feel like the government does not need to be involved in everything, in every little intricate aspect of your life, because now it's getting to the point where we becoming drones and we doing what they want us to do.
Right.
And that's not what, there's no freedom,
Right.
There's no free will that way, but enough of that for now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, disclaimer to anybody that may have took offense to anything that we said. That was not the intention of us. We merely expressing these as opinions.
Right.
I'm D, this is A. Until then, y'all be good to each other. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe.
Signing off.